Yes, it's Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. The object is for me to go ahead and try to fix people's cars without completely wrecking them. Don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that, but guys, hey, thanks for joining me. Something a little bit different for the channel. We might start up a bit of a let's play for this particular game. We'll figure out whether we do, but this follows along the sports and simulation angle that my channel is heading down. Now, all you sports and particularly baseball fans, don't worry, some videos are coming soon. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy a bit of car mechanic simulation. So guys, what I'll do is take a quick tour around the workshop, and then we'll get into fixing the first car, get the first job out of the road. Now, one thing I would say is this game launched with a crap load of bugs, but I think they've done something like 7 patches since the game got released, and a lot of those bugs have been ironed out, so we should be able to get through a decent amount of gameplay without too many issues. So let's just go around and take a look at the workshop and some of the things that are in here. You start off with this sort of base level workshop right here. It's just got the one hoist, but they call them we call them hoists over here in New Zealand. I think they call it a lift in this game. Same deal. But anyway, we'll start with the toolbox. Now really this just gives you an idea of the different power-ups and level ups that you can achieve as you work through the game. For example, this one here, once you achieve level 1, you get 50% faster screwing and unscrewing. In other words, a lot of these things will just help you do the jobs a lot faster, or diagnose faults a lot faster also. So really just become a lot more efficient. These big bars here, they do major things like upgrade your garage, expand the sizes, add tools and other abilities. So that's what that's all about. We've got the wheel balancing and tyre changer here. So if you've got to put new tyres on the car, you throw it on here to get the tyre off the rim, and then you'll balance up the wheel so it runs nice and evenly. If we make our way through the garage here, a lot of things here do nothing, so there's not a lot of clickables here. This is the hoist, and we'll get onto that later on. I'm all over the place. The mouse is quite sensitive in this game, so sorry if you're getting a bit of a whiplash watching this. The phone here, click on that, tells you, what jobs are available. We'll get onto that later on. The computer, now this is really cool. What this allows you to do is basically, as you diagnose faults in cars and find things that need to be fixed, you go in here and you can buy the part. So for example, you might need a new air filter, so there you go, you can buy one for $11 and all that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. You got the radio, which I don't think's activated at this point. The engine crane, that allows you to take the engine out of the car and work on it separately. Just makes it a bit easier to get to all the intricate little parts of the car. And as we move around here, this is a very quick tour. This is the oil drain. The oil drain is for when you drain all the oil out of the car. Funny that, very well named piece of equipment. And you can just shove it under the car, drain out the oil, and then do an oil change if required. Now out through this door here, when you click on this, you'll see that it brings up a map of the city. We're currently in the garage. You've got a parking space that when you buy your own cars, you can store them in there. Which is kind of cool. You've got a car salon, I think that's for painting your cars. A test track for just diagnosing faults and just testing out different components of the car. The junkyard, racetrack, car auctions, and some other things that you can't see here are barns. None of those are clickable at the moment. And from what I understand, as you progress through the levels, you get access to those particular parts of the map. So that's later on. Now out here, I'll just quickly show you the parking. So to exit to parking, it just goes through the loading screen here, and here we are in the car park. We're getting a bit of blur, as you can see, if you go too quickly like that. Oh, feel a bit drunk. So this is where, once again, if you buy cars, you can go ahead and park them up here. A bit of a storage sort of scenario. So if we just click on that, we return to garage. The mouse, one thing I don't like is the mouse. It could just be, I don't think it's my mouse, but I find it's really undersensitive. It's oversensitive but undersensitive in some things. Oversensitive in some things and undersensitive in the others. That makes no sense at all. Completely contradicting myself. All I'm going to say is the mouse is a bit of an ass to use. Anyway, that's a very quick overview of the workshop. The key really is to fix cars, and up the top right hand corner you can see the level we're on, level 1, The XP is 0 of 307, so as you reach that XP, I believe you go up a level. That little blue thing is the phone, which tells you how many jobs are sitting there currently, and $4,000. We use that money to help buy parts. Let's jump onto the phone, and as you can see, we've got 2 jobs sitting there at the moment. This one here is a normal order, and this one here is a story order. So a normal order just gives you a quick description. Brake system needs fixing, and there's a list provided. Whereas a story order, this is from my understanding, it gives you a little bit of a story around what the potential issues might be. So a year and a half ago, I bought my son this car. He said that it's not interested in anything except filling it up at the gas station. Please check the oil and tyres. So let's go ahead and take that order. So the order has been accepted, and there we go. We have got the car sitting in our garage, ready to be fixed, and it is even though it's a fairly modernish looking car in a way, it's got rust everywhere. He just hasn't taken care of this vehicle whatsoever. Now if you right click on the menu, it brings up a sub menu. You can look at your inventory, which tells you the parts that you've got in storage at the moment. I've got none because I've bought none. Let's quickly go through that menu. We'll go to the car status last. Parts note. So this is kind of cool. I mean, as you're going through and diagnosing parts that need replacing, you can make a note, and then when you go into the computer, you know what parts you need. Early on, not as much of an issue because the jobs don't seem to be that big. Right click, I think. Overview mode, so you click on that and it shows you a quick overview of the parts that are going to need replacing. And if you have a look here, the ones in red are the issues. So you can see it's going to need 4 new tyres, and it's got another red part in there. It looks like a filter, probably a fuel filter of some description, I would imagine. And if you carry on, you can move the car. We'll do that in a minute. You go to assemble mode. That allows you to take stuff on and off. And we go out to normal mode, which brings up the different menus. So you can do an interior disassemble, which allows you to take the seats out, all that sort of stuff. And in the shop, on the computer, one of the stores is interior. You can choose from a massive range of interior. You can really do up the car. There's a ton of different rims. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can buy to do up a car, and that will probably come in handy later on when you go and buy a piece of crap and you zhuzh it all up and then sell it at the auction. So the last thing we'll look at here is, so what we'll do is we'll have a look at the car status in a minute, which is going to tell us the issues that we need to look at. But let's start by moving the car to another location. It locks all the ones that you can't move it to, so I could either move it to parking. It won't let me because I don't own the car, but I can put it on the car lifter. So if we move over here and bada boom, there it is, sitting on the car, sitting on the hoist. I'm going to call it hoist, by the way, probably most of the time, but it's a lift. What you do is just put, you got to hold it down and then give it a click, and the little things go in and it lifts it up, and obviously that gives you the ability then to check the different parts. And you can also click it again and it will go right up very high, so you can work on the underneath of the car. But let's get to what we actually need to do on this job, and in this particular occasion there's 2 things that need to happen. Here goes the first portion, which basically explicitly tells us what are the issues. So we're going to need an air filter, we're going to need 4 standard tyres, and we're going to need a fuel filter. As time goes by and you work through the different jobs, there may be what you'll find is maybe it doesn't actually show the parts you need to replace, and you've actually got to go and find the faults and then replace the parts. This one here too, it says the second part of the job is to change your oil, so use the oil drain there and refill it, I should say, with new oil. One thing to watch out for is this repair with minimal parts condition. So that's saying if you're going to replace a part, the part you replace it with must be at least this number. So in this case here, it's 100%. So it's saying you better replace it with, to achieve this job, you've got to replace it with brand new parts. As you go through, you may find that there's actually parts, it might say 70%, which means you might have some parts lying around from previous jobs, or when you get access to junkyard and the barns, you can actually pick up parts, and you might have some spare parts here that you can use. Obviously, that's an advantage because it means you don't have to go and purchase purchase new parts, and you make more money. Anyway, hopefully that's a decent enough overview for you turkeys out there. So, as we already know using our diagnosis, our overview, that straight away we can see we need 4 new tyres, and that's what the job card said. And the fuel filter, so we were right, which is around the front there. If we open up the... hold on, let's get this sorted. Open up. Oh shit, I just took the hood off. Oh my god, okay. Oh, that is a bit of a shocker, isn't it? Assemble mode. So, hold on, guys, here we go. Yep, so here we go. This is how you put parts back on. There we go, guys. Anyway, a single click should do the job. It's not doing it. Why am I in the wrong mode? That's why. Bang. There we go. This time, the hood comes up. So one thing we did notice was the fuel filter, and this should be a pretty easy little job to do for a start. All we do is go into, hold on a minute here, it's hiding around in here. Maybe we need to take, there it is in there, so we just go into assemble mode and click, come on, sort it out. No we don't. We click on the part. Oh, I've gone onto air filter, injured head. Anyway, we can get to it there. There we go there. Guys, we will finally get there. As you can see, I'm a trainee mechanic and it takes a bit of time. But I've identified the fuel filter. It's looking in pretty poor shape. So I just do that and away we go. We have removed the fuel filter. Now, as you can see, you can sort of scroll around. Use your mouse wheel to scroll back and forward. You can go up and down to view. It helps if I push the right buttons to view different parts. So the other one that we need to look at is the fuel filter. So we'll just click on that to focus in on that particular part. And the clips here, you just hold down and you get rid of the clips. This is sort of becoming a little bit of a tutorial in a way. It's not what it's about. I'm just sort of explaining it for a start, and then as we get into future episodes, we'll just sort of go ahead and complete the more complicated jobs. So then I click on the cover, like that, get rid of it. There's the scummy old air filter. We'll remove that. And we just go escape. And we're out of the car. So let's go ahead and grab those 2 parts. One of the things I did actually forgot to go through, which isn't right here. This one here is actually a tablet. And so what that allows you to do is when you're out on the workshop floor, rather than having to come back to the computer and having to do what I'm doing right now, which is manually go and find the parts. So it was just a standard air filter, by the way. The tablet allows you to order all those parts while you're standing at the car. Makes life a lot more easier. So let's go ahead and buy that. It's only $11. The fuel filter, we can just type in here. It's got a bit of a search function, and bang, there we go, done and dusted. So we move back to the car. Oh, I don't like that blur, that is annoying. Anyway, we'll go back in here, we'll focus on the air filter, and then we click here and we go to part mount, and it sort of ghosts it in there. So you just click on and hold it down and it goes, okay, select the part you want to fit. Now obviously we don't want to fit this old part that's 0% condition. Fit the new part, easy as that. We throw the cover back on, select the part cover you want, and select the part you want. Here we go. So you just got to, for each clip you've got to identify it, because some of these parts may need replaced with newer parts, so you just got to be careful to make sure you select the right ones. The last thing you want to do is refit old parts. Number 1, the job won't be completed, and number 2, you have to take it out and refit the proper one. So there you go, our air filter is completed. Once again, if we look over here, our fuel filter is ghosted in there, so we can go ahead and click on that, select 100%, and that is done. I'll just escape out of that, and if I go to my, you've actually got to click on the right click on the vehicle to bring up this list. If I click on there, as you can see, air filter, fuel filter completed. So while we've got, now we just click on the hood and close it down. So while we've got the car at this level, what we need to do now is replace those tyres. Now this is a pretty, another grady for there. So if we just, hold on, focus in on here. There we go. Click on the correct part, and then remove the tyre, and here we go. Got a Gatling gun available, makes it nice and easy. We'll get rid of that one. And so we will work ourselves around the car. Click on the part. Click on that. Bang, bang, bang. There's a lot of rust in this car. I'm just wondering whether this guy might live by the sea, because for a car of this age it would be highly unusual. I know in New Zealand that if you brought in a car that had this much rust, you might not get a warrant of fitness. Right, here we go. Let's get rid of this thing here. 4 tyres. I can't really see the tread on there, but I would guess that it's being, like any teenager's car, it's probably being run right down to the thread. Here we go, you're out. And if we move our way around to the final one, click on there and just fat fingers and remove these. Okay, we've got the 4 wheels off the car, so we're going to need to go and buy some tyres. But before we do that, if we just go into inventory, for tyres you need to be quite careful, because if you have a look here, they've actually got a range of sizes, just like in real life, which is fantastic. So we're looking for 205/55 Rs, 16. So that's going to be 205 by 55 and then size 16. So that's what we're looking for. Make sure you grab the right ones. If you don't, the other thing to be aware of is, as you can see here, the condition's 35. That's a combination of these parts, because they fit together, and this will happen throughout all the different types of parts that actually work together. I'd say this rim's probably 75 and this tyre's 0 or low, I would say. Hold on. No, you can... I don't know how to do that. I'll have to figure it out later on, but you can separate the parts out, which we'll do later on. But let's go and buy the new tyres. So tyres... lucky I know what I'm doing, everybody. Let's go into the rim shop. Why would we go to the rim shops, you idiot? Let's go to the tyre shop. Right, so we are looking for standard tyre B, if you remember. So we better grab those. Let's just double check that. So we'll quickly check our inventory. Standard... sorry, we've got to... Hold on, let's go back to the car. Sorry, this is a little bit long-winded. I just want to make sure I get this right. And standard tyre B. Yes, I did have that right. You don't want to go, particularly early on with not much cash. The last thing you want to do is bloody buy a whole lot of equipment and then run out of money. So we're going to need 4 of these, and we're going to need size 16. Yes, and if you remember, it was 205 by 55 and size 16. We need 4 of those. $1,160. That is a decent investment. We go up there, and if we just go into our inventory, 205 by 55, 16, so we did get that right. So the first thing we need to do is, we can't just shove those tyres straight back on those old rims. We need to go and separate out the tyres. So you click on the tyre changer, you select separate parts, and these are the ones. It'll select the first one, select on that, and away you go. Just got to wait for that to happen. One little thing that I figured out after a while, is that this machine takes ages, so I would highly recommend, once you take one off, you take it off here, put it straight over onto here. Hold on. I'm going to need to actually, let's start that again. Go like this and look to install the new tyre on. So we'll select the rim and we'll select the 100% tyre and we will install that on. Because what happens is this thing beside us, the wheel balancer, goes round and round and round and round and round, and you end up waiting for ages for it. So you might as well balance the... Here goes. See, the condition combined is 85%, so it is our new combination, and also this little red sort of scale sign. That means that it is not balanced. So select the correct one to be balanced. Do you want to balance it? Yes, we do. So while that's faffing around doing that, we'll now separate out our old tyres. And that will then, we can see how long that thing beside us is taking. I think we might as well separate them all out in the meantime. I think it's gone around 4 or 5 times already, the wheel balance. Oh, there we go, it's done and dusted. and then tyre change, take that one off. So what I'll do is I'll do a bit of a, let's install one of the new ones on there, bang, 100% tyre. There we go. I haven't done this the most efficient way. I probably should have done them one at a time, but it's definitely a lot faster than doing all this tyre changing, all the tyre changing jobs and then running over here. That is not cool. So wheel balance, let's throw on the good one. Here we go here. Select that, throw it on there and get it nice and balanced on there. In the meantime, let's look at separate parts. We've got this one here that requires separation. And as you can see, just the rim is 70%, but the tyre's 15. That gives it an overall rating of 42. Yep, that seems about right. 85 divided by 2, there or thereabouts, rounded. So let's separate this rim from the tyre, and it allows us to put the new tyre on. So take that off, put this on, put some new. Yep, that's a rim that needs a tyre attached to it. So yes, while that's happening, I'll take that old one off. Grab this new one, take it off, and put it onto the wheel balancer. Here we go, that's one requires balancing. Yes, thanks for coming, throw it on there. Now, did we have one more that we need to install? We did indeed. Select that. One more tyre remaining. Make sure you don't put the old ones on. A lot of work going on. Why that's happening actually. Well, while that's happening, how about we look to put one of the new tyre combinations on. Here it is here. We need to tighten up these bolts. Is it just me or are they going the wrong way? Ha! They're going anti-clockwise. That's very interesting, isn't it, team? So, that's a little bit of a bug. I wonder if that one's been recorded. Ha! There we go. Let's take that off there. Take that off there. And balance that up. Here we go. We've got that requiring balancing. Yes. Great. Now, just make sure we've got no more... Oh, actually, we've definitely done them. One thing that we'll do, I found out, is that you can keep putting new tyres on and keep balancing tyres that have already been balanced, by the way, so don't waste your time with that. Okay. Let's put the next tyre on the front. That one's anti-clockwise too. Okay, so that just must be a bug. Very interesting. Okay, out of there, guys. Let's walk around the car. Very safely, of course, because health and safety is a huge part of what we do. We'll switch on that and the next part. There it goes, all ready to go. And oh, did you notice? Look at that. That's going clockwise. Very interesting indeed. Small things like that. I'm sure they'll get onto it. So there we go, guys. The last or third tyre's on. Let's go and grab the last tyre here. Nice shiny tyres, but let's be honest, this little teenage punk won't take long to wreck these frickin' things. He'll have no respect for them. And we fire the last one on here, guys. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Yeah, I'm useless with this, the speed of the mouse movements. I don't like it. Okay, so if we check out our little taskbar, we have fully completed that particular job, that order. So the last one remaining is change the oil. So the way we do that is we're going to need the car to be up the hoist a bit higher than it is at the moment. There she goes. Now we go across, we grab our oil drain, we click on it and we go move it, and you can move it to a certain parts of the garage. Other hoists or lifts, we've got this lift here, select that, and look at that, easy as that. Click on it and use it. It's quite easy to use that. And there we go, drain. Jeez, it didn't have much in there, did it? Bloody hell. And you can easily just get rid of the, put it back into its back original position over there. So that's nice and easy. Holy moly. That had next to no oil in it. And the other thing for you car lovers out there, you would have noticed that I didn't have to undo the sump plug or anything to drain the oil. And that would have been good to be able to do that. Anyway, so click on the engine. the old oil fill plug here, open it up, and here we go. You just keep pouring it in. See, it sort of automatically pulls the bottle down, so what I'd recommend doing is going in here and then dipstick here. You grab the dipstick out and it shows you that it's about half full, so we could probably put a little bit more in there. Trial and error, obviously. Let's just put a little bit more oil in there. If you keep pouring, by the way, it overflows, so let's just do it to about... Look, there's just a rough guess. I don't know, let's check it out. Go down to the dipstick, pull it out. Oh, we're right on the max level there. Ha! Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. So there we go, the oil has been replaced. Let's throw the hood down there, team. And then let's just check out the job card. And the oil has been drained, the old oil has been drained, and the new oil is in there. Everyone is happy. And what are we saying here? We're saying that we spent $891. Task bonus of $845. I'm not too sure what these bonuses entail. I don't know if it's time based or whether it's just the fact that you actually just did the job. And the total payout, $2,171. That will take us up to just under $5,000. And our automotive career is underway. You little ripper, get in there, boy. So, what I'll do, guys, is off screen I'll just advance myself a little bit, do a few jobs, just look to advance my workshop, and then let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Do you enjoy this type of thing? We'll throw up a few episodes, try to get a bit of a following, and we'll see whether people enjoy it. But hey, I think this game, it's got a bit of potential. I'm looking forward to getting into finding your own cars, doing them up, painting them, a bit like chasing classic cars, that sort of scenario. And it could be a lot of fun. But guys, as always, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. It costs nothing at all except a little bit of self-respect. And as always, till next time, take it easy.